This is the first time I'm doing Inktober. I never thought I was able to do one drawing per day, so I'm super excited that I actually finished all 31 drawings. Let's do a flip through together. So let's start with the front cover. I actually left this page blank until the very last day because, well, I feel there's a lot of pressure comes down to decorating the front cover. It's such an important page. I feel it's gonna set the tone for the whole sketchbook, and if I mess up, it's gonna ruin the whole thing. So typically I just leave my sketchbook cover blank, but you know what? Maybe after this Inktober experience, I'm gonna start drawing things on my on the covers of my sketchbook because, you know, after finishing these 31 drawings, I feel a lot more casual about putting things on the cover because it's just another page, right? So on this page, I really was trying to experiment with moving and mixing the letters to create this interesting composition. I like to sprinkle in these little cute bunny characters just to make it more fun. I think this drawing represents the whole sketchbook pretty well. So let's get to the first prompt. So the first prompt is mustache. When I saw this prompt, immediately the question I had for the longest time came to mind. The mustache looks cool, but how the hell do people keep it nice and clean? I had this question like in my mind especially when I'm eating with someone with a nice mustache, but sadly I never got to ask this question. So I'm happy that at least I can draw this idea here. It goes like this bunny is happily picking some berries from a tree looking thing, and suddenly it's snowing and it turns out to be the shaving cream. So this little bunny and his little ladders got flipped away. You probably noticed that I'm using the back of the front cover. This is because I want to use a sketchbook that's not too thick, doesn't have too many pages, and this one is pretty much perfect, but I will have to use both sides of all the pages available. So you will see. The next prompt is weave. I recently drew a lot of these bunny characters, and people sometimes ask me, why do they have super long ears? Well, it's because when I was drawing characters, I mean human characters, I really like drawing the hair, especially long hair, because I feel I can create a lot of dynamic motions with them, and by placing them properly, it looks like there's movement. So I made the ears super long in place of the hair, and I think they're super cute. But you know, long ears, just like long hairs, they easily get tangled. So here we have all these bunnies all woven together. I'm not sure how long they've been stuck there because there are many long roots growing out from the sides that's surrounding them. And here we have another bunny just discovering this disaster. And hopefully you cannot tell, but this is making good use of the box that came with this page. This is actually a cover page, so the paper is kind of thin. We're not into the actual sketchbook yet. Let me show you. So this is a brand new one, and the paper is thinner in here, but the one I got is a watercolor version. So anyway, the front cover page is the same. So it has a box here for you to write down, I guess, important information like name and dates and topic maybe. And there's a branding here. But by drawing so much stuff on this page, I'm actually trying to hide the brand of this sketchbook. Did it work? It's here. Let's move on to the next one. And the next prompt is crown. I drew this elaborate crown in extreme detail, but if you look closely, all these bunnies are sitting on mini toilets. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird, but I can explain. There's the story. You know the saying, sitting on the throne could mean that people are actually sitting on the toilet? Somehow I kept thinking it's sitting on the crown. What's funnier is that when I said it, my friend actually got what I meant. But if you think a little bit more deeply, how the hell can someone sit on the crown? Do they sit in the middle of the crown where it's kind of soft and flatter? Or do you sit on the spikes? Well, if there are toilets on the spikes, that could mean that you can sit on the throne and the crown, right? I kind of like how the fancy writing pairs well with the elaborate crown because if you don't look too closely, there's nothing wrong with the picture, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. What inspired me to draw this one is the murky sky. Actually, can you recognize this scenery? It's a famous one. Yeah, it's the renowned Lake Louise here in Banff, Canada. But this is a night view. Typically, people take the shuttle to go visit this lake because the parking lot is very small and fills up really quickly. But if you get there early enough, you can actually get a spot, which is what we did. We got there super early before 6 a.m. It was really dark and still at night. We could barely see anything and there's not that many lights. We saw the sky full of stars, and under the moonlight, we walked to the lake. And wow, what a breathtaking view. There's barely anyone there. It was really quiet and serene. The moon is shining right above the lake, creating those reflections on the peaceful water. There were quite a lot of clouds drawn here, but not enough to block the light. We thought we got there way too early, but I felt grateful that we got to see this amazing scene. All right, prompt number 5 is deer. I don't usually draw animals, well, besides bunnies, of course. So I had to think about how to draw them in a cute way. I drew the first few prompts with the bunnies, so I wanted to continue with the theme and draw a story that goes well with them. My experience with deer is in Japan, in a city called Nara. They have a park where deers roam freely. You can actually get really close to them, and sometimes you get surrounded because they want food. There are also stands selling something called a rice cracker specifically made for deer. So here I'm drawing this little bunny running a cafe here. This one is serving the drink, and this one is handling the rice crackers. The deer in Nara Park were also very courteous. I remember they will bow to you before they take the rice cracker from you. So here I'm drawing that scene, but with my bunnies with super long ears, I wonder how that's gonna go. And the trees are cherry blossom trees because I imagine it will be really pretty when you go in the cherry blossom season. Next one is pierce. When I was young, my friends started to get ear piercings and start to wear pretty earrings. It's a very tempting idea for a teenager girl, but I always had this fear of putting a hole on my earlobe because the earlobe feels very delicate. How can it handle some metal stuff drilled in there? What if it gets caught on something? Want to rip the hole and make it bigger? Oh, so yeah, here's my nightmare rendered. And the bunnies, the chain of bunnies represents the force to rip the ear off. It looks pretty brutal here. I'm trying to play with the perspective and purposely made the girl smaller at the bottom. So if you start from the top, it looks pretty cheerful, right? And it takes you a second to realize what they're actually doing. You have to trace down the chain of bunnies and oh, here's the ear, they're attached here. Ew, that's painful. And wait, how many bunnies? And you look up here, and I hope that's what you're doing. I hope this is fun and interesting. Anyway, I know ear piercing is safe, and I hope this drawing doesn't pass my nightmare to you. Next one is starfish. This one is another obvious prompt. When the prompt is an object, it really tempts you to draw the object, but I don't want to follow the convention. So here I have the bunny teacher teaching a class of starfishes on what starfish is actually like. It's a fish shaped like a star, and she drew them on the blackboard, explaining what each part is. Well, although this is just a blackboard I drew, it is still fun when I drew this fish and write down some BS explanations to each part. It reminds me of my school days. The classes were boring, but in comparison, it's so much fun to scribble random stuff on the blackboard. Of course, when the teachers were not there. Or we could be in deep trouble. The next one is reckless. I'm such a safe person, so I don't usually do things that are dangerous or reckless. So I had to think really hard for a reckless activity. And this is what I came up with. The bunny dropped his coin purse behind some bars. He wanted to get it back. But the gap between the bars are really narrow, so he has to squeeze his head in. And yay, he's in, all scratched on his face. But he didn't realize that this is a moving truck about to take off. He didn't notice that because he was so focused on the purse. And these guys did notice, and it says reckless here. When I was drawing this, I was thinking sometimes it's like this in life. Sometimes Maybe when we just really want something or want to achieve something, we could just take a step back and check what situation we're in, and maybe the conclusion is that we should just let it go. We probably are not aware of what we're doing is reckless or sometimes plain dangerous. Oh wow, we suddenly got deep there. Let's go back to the fun stuff. These next two prompts are two-in-one. They're heavy and sweep. It is inspired by my usual grocery runs. There's a grocery store just a few minutes away from my home. I always walk there to get some small things, like when we run out of salads or fruits. It's very convenient. But you know, sometimes when I see things on sale or items that we need, although they're quite heavy, like a big bottle of apple cider vinegar, I'm just tempted to get them. It's a pain in the ass to drag them home because they're super heavy. One day I didn't have enough bags, so I just held on to 2 English cucumbers with the free clear produce bags. You know the bags I'm talking about, right? They're super flimsy. There comes in a roll in the produce section, but they do have handles. So I was just holding onto the handles and walking home with 2 English cucumbers. But by the time I got home, there's a big hole in the bag and I have only 1 cucumber left. I had no idea when or where I dropped it. People probably find it weird when they see a cucumber lying in the middle of the road. Here I drew this bunny holding onto 2 bags of groceries, way too heavy for him. It's dragging out his arms, so the arms are super long, and there's a bunch of holes on the grocery bags and things are flying out. And we got another poor bunny here just trying to clean up behind him, sweeping up a huge amount of dust. Oh, this is not part of the drawing, it's just I closed this page when this ink is not fully dry, so this page picked up the H letter. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Oh, these next 2 pages are also connected, so let me explain. This bunny is enjoying his honey, although his friend is trying to stop him, saying, "Don't!" But we don't get a chance to hear why. After the honey, this bunny goes take a stroll in the woods, and he noticed there's always a bee flying around him. This is actually our own experience. Before we take our morning walk every day, my husband always has a spoonful of honey to help with his allergies. And we noticed that he always attracts bees. The bees never bothers me because I don't take the honey. It took us a while to figure this out. Luckily, my husband never got stung, but our bunny here is not that lucky. He got stung on the arm here and he got such a painful face. Or maybe he is lucky because somehow the bee sting made him jacked. I've been building muscles as well, and if only I can come this easily, I'd be happily eat some honey, go out for a walk, and get stung. I love how this cute face contrasts with this shredded body, although it might look a little bit disturbing. Okay, next one is drink. For this one, I thought of drawing a simple cocktail, of course, a pretty one. Then I remembered that we watched a YouTube video about going to fancy bars in Japan. I don't drink, but I was impressed by how sophisticated the drinks were. I think this is inspired by a drink from the bar. Yeah, the bar's name is The Bar, at the top of floor of Ritz-Carlton in Roppongi, Tokyo. The drink is so pretty, I imagine it's like a little garden by itself, and the bunny is making the drink here by sprinkling some flower petals in. Can you see him? And there's another bunny here enjoying the drink. This whole scene is so dreamy, so it inspired me to make the font in this shape, following the steam into the air. I mentioned that I chose to use this sketchbook because of number of pages, but another reason is that it has the right shape. I think it's just very easy for me to do the 4-block manga, but it works really well for the drawings too. It always leaves me enough room to play with the fonts, which I really enjoy, and I think I'm gonna incorporate more in the future in my artwork. All right, next one, and here goes my second typo. I used a pencil to sketch out the letters to make sure they're symmetrical and well positioned, but I didn't realize that I had this extra C here. And of course, I stupidly went ahead and added some bunnies inside and all those details. What the hell? What the hell was I thinking? When I was about to finish, my husband came over. I was showing him like, hey, isn't this cute? Isn't this idea nice? Instead of one suitcase, I drew multiples. He's like, well, you have one extra suitcase there. Ah, I was so embarrassed. So I drew this bunny saying, "There's no C in trunk," and trying to drag the cover away, trying to make it look like it's intentional. I hope it worked. Anyway, this idea is based on some old classic suitcases from some, high-end brands that I won't name. Does it matter? I don't think anybody cares. Anyway, I was gonna draw one big trunk, and inside it's the living quarters of the bunnies. But when I googled it, I realized that they make trunks in shapes of letters, and they're crazy expensive. It's like it's like 12K a pop. These bunnies must be rich, having 6 of them. So UNC are open. It's like a garden cafe in the U, and it's like a relaxing living room in the sea. This one got surprised by the cover falling off, so he's almost spilling his drink. He's watching TV here, and this one is reading a book under a light, and there's a ladder connecting the two. There might be more bunnies in these other letters, but that's for you to imagine. All right, moving on to the next one. Next 2 prompts are ragged and blunder. I'm happy that I could connect them again. For ragged, first thing that came to mind was a ragged sweater. I thought of making a bunny wearing that ragged sweater, but that's not very innovative. I always want to have a story if I can. So when I was a kid, I was really into sewing. I had 2 Barbies and I loved making clothes for them. I had a whole bag of little pants and tops and dresses for them. And sometimes I make things for myself too, like a bag, or I like to patch up random things. I stopped doing that when I grew older because it's much more convenient and sometimes, just not worth it to spend the time to, make things or fix things. But it's a very useful skill to have to fix small things around the house. And I think patched clothes look so cool. So I came up with this idea of the bunny patching this sweater. And it looks ragged, but definitely better than before. And then I thought maybe he was on a sewing high and accidentally patched the neck hole as well. And it turned out to be a blunder. I really like his cute little apologetic face here. So adorable. Next one is ornate. I don't usually like ornate things. I prefer things with simplistic and minimalistic design. So I had to Google some reference photos for this to get myself inspired. When I typed in ornate bunny, yeah, that's what I typed in. Some old greeting card popped up in the search result. It looks very nostalgic. I remember seeing these in store and even receiving some when I was young. So I thought, what if I just draw a ornate card, but with my simplistic bunny in there? So this is what I came up with. And the bunny is holding his little spade and basket of flowers. He has a resigned look, thinking, why the hell am I here in this garden? And why is there this gigantic Easter egg? What am I supposed to do? When I was drawing this one, I didn't plan to connect it with the next one. But when I get to the next one, I was thinking, okay, maybe this little bunny can do something with his spade. And maybe he can go digging. Maybe he was so bored in this Easter garden because he didn't care about this massive egg, but he definitely cares about his carrots because that was his favorite food. So when he saw some tip of the carrot in the garden, he started digging, thinking he can have a nice carrot salad, especially when he noticed that, oh, this is the big one, I got a good deal. So he just kept yanking it out, but he was sadly wrong. It's actually a monster with a carrot head, and punched him away along with his little spade. And the story ends here. Oh wait, maybe the story didn't end. He got punched so hard, he flew to Arctic. It's really cold here, so he's shivering. Wait, where did he get the scarf? Anyway, ignore the little details. It's already too cold for me living here in Canada, so I could never imagine going to the Arctic. This drawing is from a reference photo that I found online of a glacier. It's very serene, so I wanted to use these lines to create that atmosphere of the coldness and along with the smoothness of the glacier. And you can see this little turtle here popping out. That's for the next prompt. Rivals. Question. Who's the rival for bunnies? When my husband asked me this, I first said wolf. I don't know what went through my mind. Anyway, since the turtle is the rival for the bunny in that classic tale, I want to create a new version of this. The bunny is so cold, so he looked around and he saw a mother polar bear carrying a baby polar bear. The turtle saw that too. So they're rivals because they both want to get in the cuddle. But the bunny won this round. The bunny flipped over the turtle and ride him like in Mario and swiftly jammed himself in between the bears, and poor little turtle got kicked away. Although I'm not sure if the mother polar bear is going to be happy about the bunny either. Next one is blast. I always wanted to get a trampoline. My husband always stops me because he worries that I'm gonna get injured. I'm such a safe person, so I actually never went ahead with this idea. But I guess this is what he worries about. If you're just gently bouncing like this, it looks pretty safe and fun. And like this is okay as well. But if you're having too much fun and go overboard, you will get blasted into the space. Somehow this crazy idea came to me, which worked perfectly to connect to the previous prompt. The bunny was flying straight into the space and suddenly he hit his head on something and it made a clicking sound. As he's dropping, he looked up and sees the button is labeled, well, the classic "Do not press" warning. But it's too late. The earth turned into a monster and waiting for him to enter his mouth. I only started to really utilize the large black area this late in the sketchbook. This is already prompt 22. This is the first time I'm drawing this much with a fountain pen, so I'm actually learning a lot. I like this atmosphere created with this pure black here, and it's amazing how much you can convey with just simple black and white lines and shapes. Next is Firefly. When I saw this topic, I remember my husband said he always thought fireflies were like little rockets. I'm like, why? Most people see fireflies as serene beings. It's so peaceful and romantic when you see fireflies in a quiet forest. Why does he have such childish thoughts? I wonder. What do you guys think when you think of fireflies? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, I stole his idea because it's more fun than drawing just a romantic scene. So here, I have a few bunny friends going hunting for fireflies. They have their bug catcher and some boxes. This little one finally found a firefly. But as soon as the firefly noticed them, he started his engine and took off. So, very naturally, we connected to the rowdy scene next. Fireflies are zooming all over the place, giving our bunnies a hard time. And this one is bursting out the net, and this bunny fell onto the ground. And this firefly is just chilling here, thinking, you guys are just too rowdy. And don't worry, the story continues. The good times didn't last long. The bunny won and captured the fireflies. And guess what? They're using them as mini infernos to roast the marshmallows. Maybe this is what they plan to do all along. I made the words here to add some strong dark areas to draw the attention and to add some more interest in the drawing. Because it's kind of hard to see the fire from the fireflies. If you don't look too closely, it just looks like a nice and peaceful bonfire scene. Next one is puzzling, and this one is my next typo. Well, this one is not as bad. At least I spelled the word correctly. But the prompt is puzzling, not puzzled. But somehow as I was designing the drawing, I forgot. So anyway, the bunny is puzzled by his super long ears all tangled together. And somehow there's another bunny got roped in there, spilling his little drink. I think this is a good representation of a puzzle mind. You know, a lot of the time to convey the confusion, artists like to draw a bunch of messy lines above the head. This is like that. When I was drawing these tangled ears, I was literally puzzled myself. Next one is onion, and this one is inspired by my research on my next trip to Japan. I want to go to this island called Awaji Island. It's to the west of Kobe. We didn't have time to go last time, but I want to make sure I can visit in the future. One of the most famous attractions on the island is a gigantic onion. Of course, it's just a solid statue, not a little house like this. The gigantic onion is built on a cliff by the sea, so you can see a very nice sea view behind here. And when the sky is clear, when the weather is clear, there's blue sky and clouds, and you can see the mountains from far away. It's a really nice view. So a lot of tourists like to take photos while they're jumping in the air, like these ones are doing. And you can borrow these onion wigs too, like those two are wearing. They have a little tip at the top to make it look like an onion, and they are orange colored. It's quite funny. Drawing this makes me really want to go to visit, but too bad we won't be able to bring back onions. I heard they're really delicious, but I'll make sure to have some onion dishes there. Okay, one more typo. This prompt should be skeletal, but I thought it's skeleton. When I was a kid, I was really into scary and bloody stuff, but as I got older, I tend to like cuter stuff more. I guess life is just scary and bloody enough, so I have to escape. Just kidding. Anyway, I didn't want to draw a skeleton, so I drew a bunny wearing a cute skeleton costume, claiming that I am a skeleton. Apparently, he forgot his skull mask, which is this one holding here. And because it's almost Halloween, I think some carved pumpkins are just perfect for this prompt. This one is still busy carving, and there's one finished. Maybe he was carving inside. Can you actually do that? The next prompt is lesson. I wanted to do a lesson I learned from doing this Inktober. And sarcastically, the biggest lesson is look up the word in the dictionary before drawing them. So I drew this bunny studying hard with a teacher watching. But seriously, although there are still a few more prompts to go, I learned so much from this Inktober, and I wish I started earlier, like when it started, I think, giving out prompts in 2016. I was always afraid of the commitment. It's not easy to draw every night after work, and sometimes due to life, I have to catch up and do multiples in a day. And I was always afraid of not being good enough. I should just go practice more anatomy instead of creating, things like that. But I realized how important creativity is, and this helps me to bring out the creative sparks. As I draw more, I started to get loose and allow the ideas to come out. It's such a rewarding experience. And this next one explains why the bunny was taking makeup lessons here. Because when he was drawing, his mind was vacant. He was having so much fun drawing, and he happily turned in his Inktober stuff, but it didn't go well because he got zeros for all his typos. I guess when I was drawing a word instead of writing, I treat them as graphics and shapes, not a word anymore. So I misspell and don't even realize it. I remember in the Creative This Book collab, in one of the drawings, there's a poster on the wall and with some letters. I wrote the N mirrored. One person noticed it and pointed out in the comments. I had no idea. All right, we came to the last page. This is finally done. This is such befitting last prompt, award. Of course, I'm gonna take this opportunity to give a reward. From the bunny's point of view, he finished appearing in all stories, from Banff to Arctic to space, from sewing clothes to digging carrots and getting jacked, and he totally deserved a reward. So I made this trophy a pen holder holding a few dip pens and a bottle of ink here in place of the typical, metal or crystal ball you see on a trophy. This is such a fun experience, and I'm starting to fall in love with ink drawings, and I think I'll definitely do more in the future. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely had a blast, and I think I'll turn some designs into products and put them in my shop. So if you're interested in any of the drawings and you want to see them on a t-shirt or a mug or a print, let me know in the comments, and maybe I can make them. Remember to check out my shop if you're interested. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!